The purpose of this interview is for a criminal investigation. We are interviewing you because you are the subject of the investigation. Is there anything that would hinder you from giving a comprehensive, detailed, truthful statement at this time?
This has been very difficult, but I will do my best.
Nobody in this room would understand what you went through during the incident. It's incumbent upon you to make everyone understand in detail why it was reasonable to respond with the deadly force that you used.
Okay.
Okay? Were you equipped with any body-worn cameras or dash cams in your vehicle?
We don't have any of those. So I went around Officer Seam and I drove up. And then that's when I drove up to the house. Sorry. So I pulled up to the front of the house. And I see a person who generally matches the last update that I had. Tan skin male, white-black combination of shirt and jeans. That person is running back towards what I can see as a gun laying on the ground. As I pull up, that person reaches down and gets for the gun. As he does that, he looks right at me. But it's all very fluid, very fast. Looks at me, reaches down, grabbing the gun, takes a hold of the gun, and runs back to the house. I put my Tahoe in park, and I got out, and I could see shadow of something went through the front door, and it looked like it closed. The male that I saw pick up the gun, I saw him run to the front door, and he's making movements to get in the door. I gave him commands to get on the ground. I didn't see any response from those commands. He's actively trying to get in the door. I'm not sure if he's trying to kick it, if he's trying to beat on it. I can see that he's trying to get in. At that moment, I knew I had an armed robber, someone who robbed a convenience store with a gun. I knew someone who was completely evading law enforcement and didn't want to be caught by their driving actions and by what they were doing. I knew there was a fight with a homeowner and a law enforcement officer. I knew there was a gun that had been dropped. And I just watched someone pick it up and run towards the house. And someone who resembled what I was given as a last description of that person to be the suspect. So I believed that if that person got in that house, they would kill them. And I had to stop that person from getting in and hurting those innocent people. So I fired my gun multiple times and tried to assess if they were being effective by watching through my optic, as we've all been trained, center mass. So I put my optic on center mass on that person, which was their torso, and fired rounds. I saw the person, as I was assessing, I saw the person step away from the door and back up to the wall and slide down. As the person slid to the ground, I saw the gun fall out of their hand onto the ground. Shortly after that, I saw the garage door open and a female come running out of the garage, and she ran right behind me to my left. Moments later, 2 hands came out of the front door, eventually a whole body. It was another male, and somebody, I don't know who, yelled, "That's the suspect." That's something to that effect. That's the suspect. And then I realized now I'd shot the suspect, I'd shot the homeowner, who was an off-duty law enforcement officer. Things after that got a little blurry. I know that I saw like a bunch of people running up to him who I had shot. Somebody went, I think, and took the suspect in the custody who was on the driveway. I don't remember much after that. Just thinking that I just stopped an armed suspect from killing these people, and I had in fact shot the homeowner and the off-duty officer.
Should we go off the record and take a break and
Okay.
Sure.
let John
Yeah.
compose himself a little bit?
Yeah, I think that would be appropriate.
And then we can come back and finish. And we're back on the record.
If I might real quickly clarify, we took the break so John could work to regain some composure. There were no discussions about this event with detectives or John or myself. This was simply a break for practical purposes to allow John to work through the emotional response that was generated by this discussion, and we're back in with his efforts to regain some of that composure and be ready to answer any additional questions you might have.
One of the questions I have is has to do more with radio traffic.
Okay.
So you talked about a description, the last description. That was what was that description again? A tan.
So the last updated description was a dark-skinned, too far.
With a dark over white shirt, I think you
Yeah,
said.
white male, the dark over white shirt, long sleeve shirt, jeans.
Okay. Did you have any other descriptions prior to that
We did.
that you heard, that you recall?
The other black undershirt, a white long sleeve shirt with a black undershirt. There were prior descriptions of a dark-skinned male wearing sweats.
So when you arrived, you mentioned that you gave commands. Do you remember what those commands were?
I remember I gave a command of get on the ground. I remember there was someone to my left also yelling some sort of command. I can't tell you what that was, but I
Because you just don't recall?
Yeah, I just don't recall what that was. But I yelled, "Get on the ground."
You did?
Yeah.
Do you remember how many times?
I'm not sure. I know at least once when I initially got out of my car and and addressed that person that yelled, "Get on the ground."
And you yelled it loud and...
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you just
Yes,
kind of whispered that
yeah,
response.
very loud, sorry. Yeah.
Did you ever identify yourself as a sheriff's deputy or police officer? Do you remember?
Not verbally, just through my patrol car and the light bar and lights activated and, you know, my uniform, stuff like that. So I believed that person who desperately wanted in that house, if he made it, they were dead.
Who was dead?
The innocent people that lived in that house were dead.
Did you ever feel fear for your life? Okay.
I'm sorry, you nodded your head, but you need to respond verbally.
No, sorry. Yeah. No, I did not fear.
You never did fear
No.
for your life? But you did fear for the lives of others.
Yes, very much so.
At what moment did you realize you'd have to use deadly force?
When I yelled, "Get on the ground," and I didn't get any response, even an acknowledgement, and that I was already there and received no acknowledgement that I was there, and that it was clearly evident. The only thing separating that person from harming the people on the inside, who I believe the innocent homeowners, was the door. And it was at that moment that I thought, he's actively trying to take that barrier away. If he does it, I have to stop him.
Okay.
So that's the moment I decided to use force.
Do you believe did you believe there was any time or distance or shielding that was any kind of an option?
I didn't believe any of that was an option. It happened so fast. I didn't see any alternative.
Did you believe there was any other force options at your disposal?
I did not, given the rapid pace of how it was happening, the short amount of distance, and that the person being armed with a gun. I did not.
It was reported that after you made the comments, fuck, fuck, fuck. Do you recall that?
I do not, but I could probably imagine that.
Okay.
I can tell you that it was a blur there for a little while, and I felt hollowed out and was very much gutted at that point. So
Did you know the officer
I did not.
on or on duty? Have you ever had any interaction with him or training?
Nope, I did not.
Did you ever meet him?
I've never met him.
I'm guessing that's to your recollection, correct? I mean,
Yeah, to my recollection, I can't think of a time I've ever come in contact with him. If I have, it would have been in some passing. I didn't know who he was.
Do you believe that as a reasonable officer, in the light of all the facts and circumstances you knew at the time the threat was posed to you, that you had no other option or alternative than to use deadly force?
I do.